On Shavuot, we read the book of Ruth. It's a fantastic story. I highly recommend it. Just a few short pages, gripping narrative, and a happy ending. Who doesn't love that? It starts with a couple, Elimelech and Naomi, their sons Machlon and Chilion, who leave their home in the land of Israel and settle in nearby Moab. There, the sons get married to Orpah and Ruth. Unfortunately, Elimelech, Machlon, and Chilion, in 10 years, they all die, leaving Naomi alone with her 2 daughters-in-law. Naomi decides she's going to go back to her native land, and when her daughters-in-law say that they'll go with her, she tells them it wouldn't be fair. You should stay here with your people, with your families. Your young women, make good lives for yourself. Orpah tries to argue with Naomi, but eventually she goes back. Ruth, however, utters some of the most important and powerful words in the Bible, and really that a person can say at all. She says, "Where you go, I will go. Where you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." This is an incredibly momentous event. Our sages of blessed memory understand this moment as the first conversion to Judaism, as Ruth commits to Jewish space, peoplehood, and to God. And it's not hard to see how brave Ruth is being. Ruth is leaving her familiar space, everything that she knows, the place that is comfortable for her. And instead she is choosing to cleave to the person who is important to her, Naomi. What a valuable lesson for us today. There are so many spaces that would be our normal, familiar spaces, which we're not spending time in right now. For those whose places might include school or work, home of friends, the gym, restaurants, and certainly the synagogue, it's very deeply felt the absence of these places in our lives. And while we have less choice in the matter than Ruth did, we can still follow her brave example. Instead of being attached to our places, we can be attached to the people who make those places important. Like Ruth, we are adapting. We're adapting to new circumstances and focusing on the people who are important. Where you go, we will go. That's why it's been so important to have our services and classes online, and why one of the nicest mitzvot that you can do right now is to just pick up the phone and call someone you haven't seen. And we can't ignore the last part of Ruth's declaration. She says, "Where you go, I will go. Where you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." Ruth makes a commitment when she binds herself to Naomi, not only that she will be in a different place, but she will cultivate her actions to fit with the people that she wants to live with. Anyone in a successful romantic relationship will tell you that it's important to adapt yourself to make room for the other person. Ruth knows that when she leaves her space behind, she'll need to do what Jewish people do in order to live with her mother-in-law. Now, the synagogue is our comfortable space to practice our Judaism, and when we leave it behind for now, we must also adapt and recenter our Jewish practice in the place where really it is meant to be in the first place, which is our homes. One family I spoke with this week had a wonderful example of exactly this. Normally, on a Friday, the parents get home from work in Manhattan late in the evening, but right now, without the commute and with more flexibility in their schedule, they've decided every week for the last 2 months to light the Shabbat candles and to sit down and to have a Shabbat meal together. When we shape our habits to make room for others, we're able to be together, even if our habits at the moment are Zoom calls instead of hugs and kisses. And when we shape our homes with Jewish ritual, we bind ourselves to our community, making space for the tradition that unites us. And at the same time, when we fill our homes with that Jewish ritual and we adapt our own actions, we make space for the divine, declaring that our people will be our people no matter where we are, and that always our God will be our God. Let us take that message with us into this holiday. Let it be a happy holiday for us, wherever we are, everywhere that we are. Chag Sameach.